Let's be completely honest. Right now, I'm 24 years old, I'm technically unemployed, and I'm currently living in my friend's spare room. To keep some cash coming in, I juggle a side hustle selling perfumes online, do random graphic design work, and try to build software tools on the side. If you look at social media or tech news right now in 2026, it feels like you either need to be a multi-millionaire tech CEO or a literal PhD mathematics genius to understand what's actually happening with artificial intelligence. Most people think AI is a dangerous sci-fi magic brain that is coming to take every entry-level coding and creative job before the end of the year. Because of that, a lot of junior developers and creators are just frozen. We don't know what to learn next, what stack to build on, or if our skills even matter anymore. But when I started looking under the hood to build basic automations for my perfume business, I realized something that completely flipped my perspective. The existential dread disappeared, and curiosity took over. Which brings us to the big question. Is AI actually this hyper-conscious entity that's about to make human intelligence obsolete? Or have we been looking at it completely wrong this whole time? Here is the head fake. AI isn't smart. It doesn't think. It doesn't know things, and it doesn't experience the world. At its absolute core, artificial intelligence is just a hyper-advanced guessing machine built on math. And once you realize it's just math and probability, it stops being a terrifying threat and becomes something much better. A tool that you and I can completely control and build with. Which would be fine, except for one major problem. To actually use this tool to build apps, web systems, or e-commerce automations without burning through hundreds of dollars in API credits, we have to understand how we got here. And to do that, we have to look at a massive mistake scientists made 70 years ago that almost killed AI forever. Let's jump back to the 1950s. A brilliant mathematician named Alan Turing asked a simple question. Can machines think? Fast forward to 1956, a group of scientists gathered at the Dartmouth Summer Research Project, and they officially coined the term artificial intelligence. The stakes back then were massive. Governments poured millions of dollars into these labs because researchers promised that within a single generation, machines would be walking, talking, and outthinking humans. They thought the formula for intelligence was simple. Write down every single rule of human logic into a computer program. If a computer knows all the rules, it will act smart. But that created a massive roadblock. What the audience back then expected was a rapid evolution into sci-fi robots. Instead, the entire industry hit a brick wall. This period is what historians call the AI winter. Funding dried up, projects were abandoned. The tech world completely gave up on AI for decades. Why? Here's the head fake. The early pioneers didn't fail because their logic or math was wrong. The math was actually beautiful. The real problem was they lacked the two things we take for granted today: massive data and pure computing power. They had the blueprint for a digital Ferrari, but they were trying to build it using wooden gears and steam tower. You can't teach a machine to understand the world by typing in rules manually. The real world has too many exceptions. That solved the mystery of why AI vanished. But it exposed an even bigger shift. In the late 90s and 2000s, scientists stopped trying to teach computers rules. Instead, they gave computers the ability to look at data and learn the rules for themselves. This became known as machine learning. And that brings us to how AI actually works under the hood right now. But warning, the way it functions is going to completely change how you write your prompts and build your applications. So what is AI today? Let's strip away the marketing buzzwords. Imagine I want to build an automation tool for my perfume side hustle that automatically flags angry customer emails so I can reply to them immediately. In the old days of programming, I'd have to write code like, if email contains angry or terrible or refund, then flag it. But what if a customer writes, your shipping times are a joke. I'm completely disappointed. My code misses it because those exact words aren't in the list.
This is where modern AI, specifically deep learning and large language models, steps in. Instead of reading words, the AI converts text into long lists of numbers called vectors. Words with similar meanings sit close to each other in a massive, multi-dimensional mathematical space. Most people think ChatGPT is an all-knowing oracle. The head fake is that it's actually just a hyper-glorified version of the autocomplete feature on your smartphone keyboard. It is literally just guessing the next word over and over again at lightning speed. It doesn't know what a perfume bottle actually smells like, and it doesn't know what code actually does. It just knows the mathematical patterns of how humans talk about those things.
Which sounds incredibly basic, until you realize the terrifying catch. Even though it's just guessing the next word based on statistics, this autocomplete engine has become so powerful that it can pass medical board exams, write working Python scripts in 3 seconds, and debug full-stack web applications faster than engineering teams with 10 years of experience. Which brings us to right now. The year is 2026. AI is evolving from a chatbot you talk to into autonomous AI agents that can execute complex tasks for you. And if you're a beginner developer or entrepreneur like me, this is where the story gets incredibly exciting, or incredibly left behind. We've gone from rigid rules in the 1950s to pattern recognition in the 2000s to generative AI agents today. The bar to entry has completely collapsed. If you want to build an app, an e-commerce store, or an AI automation tool today, most people assume you need to spend 4 years getting a computer science degree just to write your first line of code. But here is the final head fake. In 2026, the primary language of programming isn't Python, JavaScript, or C++. The primary language of programming is logic, expressed through clear human language. Because AI can handle the syntax, the missing semicolons, and the tedious boilerplate code, your value as a developer isn't measured by how fast you type. It's measured by how well you understand problems and how creatively you structure the solution.
That is exactly why I started this channel, Koaladesk. I am not a distant, high-ranking tech expert talking down to you from a Silicon Valley office. I'm a guy grinding from a spare room, learning this stuff in real time and documenting the entire process. The final payoff of understanding AI isn't just knowing the history or the math, it's realizing that you no longer have to wait for permission, funding, or a degree to build the things you want to see in the world. On this channel, we aren't just going to look at boring theory. We are going to build full-stack systems, apps, e-commerce stores, and AI automations completely from scratch as a newbie developer. Errors, bugs, 5-hour debugging struggles, and all. If you're a junior developer, a side hustler, or a creator who wants to stop being intimidated by AI and start building with it, hit that subscribe button. Let's build something real. I'll see you in the next walkthrough.